Alright, so we're at the eye stage. And these are the eyes that I usually have on stock, and what I do is basically put them on my puppet head to see which ones work. These ones are made from spoons. These ones are from Planet Puppet, I believe, and you can order them. They have a thing that attaches them onto the base of your, or the puppet head. And then there's also dome eyes as well. And like I said, I put it against my puppet and decided that these eyes, which are made out of spoons, work the best. So I'm going to show you how to build those today. So what I like to do is buy soup spoons. They're a little bit more round as opposed to the oval spoons. And just basically grab a pair of scissors and cut the base of that spoon off. Be very careful not to snip yourself. You might have to do it a couple times because I find some spoons, for some unknown reason, if you go the wrong angle as you're cutting, you'll crack the spoon. You'll have to start all over again. So this one turned out all right. So I'm just going to get a piece of sandpaper and sand down the edges so that it's flat. Well, not flat, but it looks even all the way around, and get rid of all the rough edges. Now, the thing about spoons is they're shiny. If you can see, there's a little bit of a sheen. So you might want to sandpaper the surface of the spoon. If the puppet's for video or film, sometimes directors like a non-sheen. So you might have to sand down the surface, and then afterwards just spray paint them with eggshell or flat white spray paint. So as you can see, there's a sanded part. You don't see the sheen, and then you see the shine. See, it's pretty cool. So just to be aware of that. Now, what we're going to do is the black eye sort of lash on the puppet, and what I like to use is felt that's sticky on one side. And basically, if you notice that the actual piece itself runs underneath the eyelid, so it's a fairly thick piece, and don't worry about making it too thick because you can always cover it up. So I just use a straight edge with a razor and do a straight line. You can also use a paper cutter or anything else that draws a straight line. And there is my eyelid. And like I said, as long as you have a straight edge on one side, you're fine. And you'll snip it with a pair of scissors. And what you'll do next is basically grab your eye that you just cut out from the spoon, and you're going to run that piece of felt on the eye. Now you can run it straight, but I find I like to give it like a little bit of an angle. If you notice on some of the Muppet characters, their eyes aren't straight. It kind of gives a different sort of look to the puppet, whatever eye that you, or whatever way that the shape of your eyebrow is. So I like to give it sort of a cupped U around. So this is what I do. I basically peel off the back, and it's a little bit sticky, and that's why I like it, because I can take it off and on of the eye itself, and then once I have it down, I'll hot glue it down. So I think that's I might have to do a little bit of adjustment here. But like I said, you want it sort of curved, and then once you get the curve that you like, simply hot glue it down. Now, if you just need a little bead of hot glue, if you put too much and it bleeds out the bottom, I don't have a bleed there, but I have a bleed on the opposite side, so I'll show you the technique I use. I simply just get a razor and cut that glue off so that it's a clean finish, and you can touch it up as well with a black magic marker, but you have to be really careful not to hit the base of the eye, the white of the eye. So that's done. Now I'm going on to the actual eyelid, and I like this color. I think it's pretty good for the puppet that I'm using. So basically, I'll get a piece of felt that I got at a dollar store, or you can use Antron fleece or anything that other material, and simply go onto the opposite side where you want the lid to go. And you're going to put a little bead of glue onto the eyelash as well, the black eyelash, just so that you can overlap the felt. And you want it to sit sort of flat. Press it down and then just wait a couple seconds for that to cool. Once it cools, you're gonna flip it over and use a pair of scissors and just follow sort of, this is a rough trim, around the eye like so. There you go. And then next what I do is basically pour some hot glue onto the inside of the eye, and then very carefully fold the felt in. It's a little too long, so I'm gonna shorten it up. It's up to you what you want to do, how long you want it to go, but I want it to have a flatter look. If it's too much material, sometimes it bunches up and it doesn't look good. So basically I start from the corners in the center. Oh, the corner flipped up, but don't worry about that. And work your way around. And like I said, you'll want it to go flat around the surface of the eye, that sort of center of the eye. Too slow. The hot glue got stiff before I was able to push it down. And push it down like so. And just hold it a couple seconds. It shouldn't take that long. It's all in plastic. And when you flip it around, you should have a flat eyelash. Just clean it up a bit. Oh, there's some fuzz. Just pick a fuzz off. Now for pupils for the puppet eye, a lot of puppet builders like to use the felt bottoms that you put on furniture so that they don't scratch your floor. But I like to use, there's Velcro that comes in pupil form, circles, and it's also called hook and loop, and it's I believe it's the loop part, so the fuzzy part, and I basically trim that down. So I built two of them, and I'm going to next put them on to my puppet head.